Am I supposed to reinforce as Warden? Is that what Warden mains do? No, they spawn kill. I got a spawn kill. Oh! Warden is one of the most popular operators in Rainbow Six. He's easy to use and his loadout is one of the strongest in the game. But there's one thing about Warden that's actually hurting the improvement and progression of the people that play him. Playing Warden isn't making people better at the game. In most cases, it's actually making them worse. But the good news is that there's a way to avoid it, and that's exactly what I'm going to explain today, to keep you safe from your own addicting downfall. Because that's really what Warden is, an addiction. He makes you want to swing everything, shoot everyone, and be completely insane as you run out every door, spawn peek every window, and C4 into oblivion. But if you've played Warden like this, you'll know that it feels good, and it feels good because it actually works. And it works pretty well against most people. If you've just got slightly decent mechanics and then start playing Warden, it feels like you've unlocked a new level of skill that you didn't have before. But this is all part of the illusion. It's all part of the trick that Warden is playing on your vulnerable little human brain. Just look how easy it is to use Warden to take the enemies and bend them over.
I'm watching the red walk over.
Oh my god.
Heal you.
It's him.
What is he MRing?
Side of the map.
Skybridge, he's dead.
Cap gang, crystal heals.
So why do you pick Warden? Is it his two great weapons, his C4, his cool running and reload animations, or is it his ability? It could be a combination of all these things, but his most attractive feature for most people is his 1.5 sight and his extremely low recoil MPX. The furthest his ability really goes is for stopping a team that's running those wild Ying smoke executes that you're finding tough to deal with. Outside of Pro League though, that kind of teamwork doesn't come super often. So why is Warden still being picked all the time, even in the highest ranks? Well, one theory is that with the addition of rank 2.0, the skill of top rank players has decreased significantly, meaning higher level strategy and teamwork just isn't needed anymore to win. You can get away with just running around and shooting people, so why put the extra effort into being more tactical and strategic? And then to top it all off, you equip the Poxonlox charm and you become even more of a beast. How could you not with the professional R6 player at your side for every bullet and every kill? Seriously though, I don't have an answer to this question. Why use more brainpower when you don't have to? It's human nature after all to find the easiest way to do things, preserving energy and all that biological evolution stuff. Anyway, at this point Warden is sounding great. What's the problem? Run and gun, kill everyone, how could this possibly be making you worse? Well, the massive problem with all of this is that it's literally the strategic death of your gameplay. While peeking everything and everyone and relying entirely on bullets and a C4 to win is a strategy in itself, playing this way over and over forms a habit, and slowly over time it becomes the only way you know how to play. It ingrains it into your muscle memory and you become reliant on playing Warden because he's the easiest operator to play in this manner. The second you can no longer play Warden, you no longer have your full power and you won't do as well no matter how hard you try. Like if Ubisoft removed his 1.5 sight, which will probably happen very soon, then a lot of people would instantly be much worse at the game because they're unable to use any other operator to the same degree of effectiveness. Warden's killing capabilities don't come from his abilities to counter, outplay, and outsmart. It comes from a wicked loadout that can mow through enemies better than any other operator. Think of this from another perspective for a second. If you learn to get kills via positioning, outplaying, and outsmarting through different ob selections, abilities, and tactics, then you have an entire playbook of different things you can do to work around the enemies. Even if you're having a bad day where you aren't aiming as well, you can still fall back on the fundamentals of your strategy. With Warden though, if you're not having a good day and you're not shooting back, you're gonna get absolutely blasted because his only option is quite literally to shoot back. There's no tactics, there's no fundamentals, it's just peek, shoot, kill, repeat, and the second you lose that, you're screwed. Sure, you can go to the next 1.5 sight haver, just like all the Oryx and Alibi mains that flocked onto Warden once they lost their sights, but realistically, how good is this for your game overall? It's only pulling you more and more into the ideology that you have to rely on gun skill and mechanics to get kills, which is definitely not the case in a game like Rainbow Six. It's the case in other games like Call of Duty where that's extremely important, but Siege is so much deeper than that when it comes to strategy and skill. The other problem with this playstyle is that it's only as good as the opponents you face. The second you play against someone with better aim and better mechanics, you've exhausted all the possible ways to beat them. They are just better than you and you just lose. If you have strategy to fall back on though, you can beat those better skilled mechanical players with strategy. And strategy can have layers and depth that is much more reliable than win the gunfight. But there are two small things that Warden is good for when it comes to improving your game, if you approach it with the right mindset, of course. Those two things are getting better mechanically and building confidence. Before I made this video, I never spawn peeked. I thought it was stupid, high risk, and if the enemy is ready, you're just dead. While this can be true, sometimes the occasional spawn peek can be very strong, and it turns out my confidence when spawn peeking was lacking overall. After playing Warden for a couple days though and practicing these peeks, I built that confidence up and can now spawn kill without the ever lurking fear that they're gonna know that I'm spawn killing or that I'm gonna get killed instantly. That's a good thing to learn, and I'm a better player because of it. The other nice thing about only being able to rely on your gun to get kills is that your gun skill becomes much better over time. Essentially, you're telling your brain, hey, if we don't start aiming better, we're gonna keep getting folded over and over again in every single gunfight. And by doing that repeatedly, your brain says, okay, then we better use more energy and focus when we're shooting at the bad guys because this is never gonna work otherwise. Now, I have literally no support to back this up, but from my own personal experience, that's what I've found. If any of you guys know about the psychology of practice and experience or whatever field of study this would be under, please educate me in the comments. So playing Warden and focusing on improving those two realms of your gameplay is actually a benefit to your game. It makes you better under those two aspects of gameplay. It is important to understand the undermining of strategy when playing him in that swing everyone, kill everyone style, but it can actually make you a better mechanical player and build up any confidence you might be lacking during gunfights. Plus, if you're playing Warden any other way and actually using his ability for its intended purpose, then you do have some elements of strategy there. While it is a I don't want you to flashbang me safety net, it's still more strategic than the guy that goes Warden and forgets that he even has an ability, only to die to the nearest blitz because he didn't turn his glasses on. In general, crutching a single operator and being a one-dimensional player is not good. If you're one ban, one teammate, or one balancing change away from being completely useless, it's time to invest yourself into learning more and being more dynamic in your gameplay. For example, me and my duo were picking Yana and Ashe every single round, and this one guy on our team was having a very difficult time dealing with it.
Give me Ashe, like, please.
I wasn't even on Ashe.
Okay, well,
I was on Glass.
This got much worse when I insta-locked Warden on the defense.
What about Warden?
bro. Can I please have Warden? Can I please have Warden?
I would, but I need him.
Like it's for a YouTube video.
Dude, this is actually crazy.
You got this. You got this.
I want him for the 1.5, and Doc has stupid, you know.
Frost, Doc, Rook.
What is he gonna do when Warden loses his 1.5, you know?
You know, I blame the fact I don't have Warden.
There's no way you can only play Warden. Like, that is insane.
I have Omai, I forgot.
What happens when people ban Warden? What do you do? I think the worst of this, though, is even though I was destroying with these operators, my teammates were just getting plowed. That's another great reason to just not play these ops. Let the randoms crutch their crutches while you get even more kills by playing support. That's right, you can top frag every game as a support player. The idea that supports and hard breachers shouldn't get kills is outdated and wrong, so go watch this video to learn how to become a support god and carry your teammates while letting them crutch whatever operator happens to have the 1.5 sight and the lowest recoil at the time that you're watching this video. But seriously, play to get better at the game instead of playing to win. Over time, you will be much better than you were before, meaning not only will you win more because you're better, but you'll have improved substantially compared to just playing the game and trying to win. Oh, and make sure to subscribe for more.